Beauty can seduce you, but when an image becomes a weapon, do you recognize the moment you're struck? Look around you. Every image that passes before your eyes is asking for something. Not always money. Sometimes belief. Sometimes obedience. Sometimes silence. From the dawn of civilization, images have been more than decoration. They've been instruments of persuasion, tools forged not merely in the artist's studio, but in the chambers of power. The story of art is also the story of control. In ancient Rome, triumphal arches rose like stone billboards of empire, each one engraved with victories, divine blessings, eternal glory. But beneath the marble grandeur, something more subtle was happening. A message was being whispered into the collective mind. Rome is invincible. Rome is divine. You are Rome. These arches, like the Arch of Titus, weren't built for the gods. They were built for you. For the citizens whose eyes would look upward in awe and whose hearts would swell with allegiance. Art as a mirror and a leash. Centuries later, when the church took the reins of imagination, it mastered this art of vision. The frescoes of Michelangelo in the Sistine Chapel weren't mere devotion, they were theater. They transformed walls into the very skin of heaven. They talked through wonder and ruled through beauty. Every gaze lifted toward the ceiling became an act of submission, dressed as prayer. This wasn't manipulation in the crude sense, it was pedagogy of power. Images teaching the faithful not only who God was, but who ruled in his name. Move forward to the age of kings. Versailles glistened like a diamond on the finger of France. Every mirror, every garden path, every painting told a single story. The king is the sun. Louis XIV didn't need a battlefield to command his people. He had architecture, a palace as propaganda. The artistry was impeccable, the symbolism surgical. To step inside Versailles was to step into a visual sermon on hierarchy and grace. Even silence bowed. But power evolves. And when the guillotine severed the head of monarchy, the image did not die, it changed costume. Now it wore the colors of revolution. Think of Liberty leading the people by Delacroix, a woman bare-breasted charging forward with the tricolor flag. The body of a goddess, the fire of a citizen. The painting is not a document, it's a weaponized dream. It rallied hearts, not armies. The same brush that once sanctified kings now sanctified rebellion. The 19th century learned the lesson well, and the 20th perfected it. Propaganda ceased to hide behind beauty, it learned to manufacture it. When totalitarian regimes rose across Europe, their artists, many unwilling, some eager, became engineers of myth. Lenin's portrait on red banners, Hitler framed against a sea of salutes, Mussolini filmed from below so that his chin pointed to destiny. Every photograph, every mural, every statue was a gear in the machine of consent. The image no longer reflected reality, it created it. In that century, the brush and the camera were loaded guns. But here lies the paradox. The same tools that built tyranny also liberated vision. While propaganda harnessed art for domination, modern artists began dismantling its illusions. Picasso's Guernica screamed against war not with speeches but with distortion. Dali, Magritte, and surrealists turned the subconscious into a rebellion of form, images that refused to obey the state, the church, or reason itself. In these canvases, truth wasn't shown, it was revealed through fracture. Art, once the weapon of the few, became the defense of the many. Then came the television, the screen, the new altar. Propaganda no longer needed marble or paint, it needed pixels, jingles, repetition. Nations discovered the power of the broadcast image. War footage was edited not to inform but to feel. Politicians learned to smile in 24 frames per second. Advertising absorbed the grammar of ideology and sold it back to us as toothpaste, cars, and freedom. And yet it worked, because beauty still seduces. Because humans still crave meaning shaped by color, movement, and face. Today, the battlefield is infinite, it fits in your hand. Instagram filters are the stained glass of our age. Each one tells you who to admire, who to become, what to buy, what to believe. The same ancient language of form, light, symmetry, the heroic pose, is alive in every influencer's frame, every political reel, every ad campaign pretending to be art. We scroll through an empire of images, unaware that every like is an act of silent participation. We are the audience and the raw material. But here is where it becomes urgent for you. Yes, you, the creator, the entrepreneur, the mind behind the lens. You stand at the same crossroads that once faced every artist under empire, church, or regime. Will your art liberate or hypnotize? Will it awaken the mind or decorate the cage? Because make no mistake, every image you create carries power. A photograph can glorify greed or expose injustice. A brand video can manipulate desire or celebrate truth. A story can sell a product or remind a soul it's alive. The artist of today is also a strategist, a philosopher, a builder of worlds. The question is not if your work will influence others, it's how. So perhaps we must return to the essence of art, not as propaganda, but as conscience. To craft beauty that enlightens rather than blinds. To create imagery that resists reduction to slogans, hashtags, or mere persuasion. Art should remain dangerous, not because it serves power, but because it challenges it. From the Roman arch to the digital feed, one truth endures: the image shapes the mind that beholds it. And when millions of minds are shaped in the same way, society follows. Every civilization, every generation must relearn how to look, to see the symbol behind the surface, to question the beauty that flatters too much, because the most potent propaganda is not the one we recognize, but the one we adore. So the next time an image takes your breath away, pause. Ask yourself, who benefits from my wonder? What is being sold beneath the poetry of pixels? What story am I agreeing to simply by watching? In that question lies your freedom. For only the conscious eye can resist the invisible hand. Art began as a mirror of the divine, then became a mirror of power, and now perhaps it must become a mirror of awareness. If beauty can still seduce, then wisdom must learn to see through it. For in the age where every image is a weapon, the truest act of rebellion is to look and not be deceived. If you found yourself thinking differently while watching this, don't scroll away. Stay with that unease. Reflect on what images shaped you, and if you create consciously. Subscribe for more essays that challenge the surface and dive into the hidden architecture of culture.